You're lying in bed, your eyes are heavy, and you're just about to drift off to sleep when a very specific, incredibly familiar panic sets in. A hand grabs the phone, the screen blinds you in the dark, and you frantically try to complete a 3-minute digital language lesson. At 2 minutes to midnight, you aren't driven by a desire for Spanish vocabulary. You are driven by the irrational fear of losing a numeric streak. This midnight anxiety is the result of an intentional psychological hijack. A multi-billion-dollar industry has weaponized our biological instinct for play, creating an exhausting, gamified treadmill that treats our attention as a resource to be mined. These digital games have effectively turned our own biology against us, holding our daily routines hostage to an algorithm. To understand how we got trapped, we have to look at a concept from 1938. Dutch historian Johan Huizinga coined the term Homo ludens, man the player.
He argued that human beings are defined by an innate instinct to play. Huizinga proposed that civilization didn't originate entirely from the grind of survival or labor. Art, philosophy, and legal systems all began as highly structured activities of play. He called the arena for these activities the magic circle. Whether it's a court of law or a tennis court, it is a designated boundary where normal reality is suspended and strict rules apply to create profound meaning. Within that circle, true play requires an autotellic reward. The action itself is the prize. You build a sandcastle for the pure joy of the construction, requiring no external validation or return on investment. This self-contained joy is deeply liberating. It also presents an existential problem for consumer capitalism because you cannot monetize an action that is entirely free. Tech and wellness industries solved this problem by stealing the structural mechanics of play, points, badges, leaderboards, and shifting the underlying motivation. This graph illustrates their first exploit, loss aversion. Algorithms are designed to target your dopamine dips. As you build up a streak, the system turns your past effort into a liability. The sudden downward spike of losing what you've accumulated registers in the brain as twice as painful as the pleasure of gaining it. Leisure becomes stressful labor. Watch the chart transition. The gig economy relies on this unpredictable wave of variable rewards. Platforms use the same psychology as casino slot machines to mask grueling late-night food delivery shifts as fun digital quests. Finally, the graph morphs into a scorecard, revealing the third exploit, the manufactured deficit. The wellness industry convinces you that your starting baseline is deep in the red, burdened by unhealed trauma or toxic traits. Before you even roll the dice, you owe a debt. You enter a purge quest, spending thousands of dollars on detox diets and self-optimization seminars just to claw your way back up to zero, just to feel enough. The trap is perfectly sealed. If a manifestation technique or a productivity framework fails to improve your life, the system encourages you to blame yourself. The failure is internalized, ensuring you remain a lifelong customer, trapped in an infinite debt of self-improvement. This continuous effort takes a devastating biological toll. Our nervous systems remain locked in a state of chronic fight or flight, trapped in what philosophers call the society of fatigue. In 19th century industrial societies, exploitation was obvious. An external factory boss stood over you and demanded harder work. Today, we have willingly internalized that slave driver. Karl Marx called this alienation. He observed that factory workers were disconnected from the physical products they built because they didn't own the chairs they spent all day hammering together. Today, we have replaced the physical chair with a new product, the optimized human self. We aren't even allowed to rest. Unconscious sleep has become gamified, trackable labor, generating recovery metrics for an algorithm while we lie in the dark. We are willingly chaining ourselves to a treadmill of self-improvement, completely exhausted and alienated from our own bodies just to power a massive economic engine. We work demanding, high-stress jobs to earn enough money for conveniences that supposedly save us time. Then we take that saved time and use it to work and optimize even more. You can't beat a gamified system by playing better. Optimizing your optimization digs the hole deeper. Reclaiming your energy requires you to step entirely out of their magic circle. The first act of noncompliance is radical rest. Claim time that produces absolutely nothing of value to the market. Walk without a tracking device. Sit and stare at the ceiling. Deliberately starve the system of your productivity data. The second act of resistance is resurrecting autotellic living. Paint a terrible picture. Cook a meal and ignore the macros. Do activities purely for the tactile experience, entirely offline, with no goal of sharing or improving. Protect that space by curating a strict information diet. Silence the notifications about streaks. Block out the algorithmic triggers demanding you fix a deficit that never existed. In a world that demands we treat ourselves as products, failure is a powerful tool. Letting a fake digital streak die is the exact moment you win your life back.